Now, Poppy said she was glad Luna was gone. She didn't want anything to do with her when she was here. But here you are, in her dad's face, again. In his face, again. I was like, okay, now, Steph, you need to come back, because they circling around your doggone husband like it ain't nothing, girl. And I was like, now, why would you be in his face? Somebody said they bonded for life. I said, that's the excuse they be using when they want to mess around and stuff. And don't even get me started on Big Bad Dollar Bill. I said, what happened to the old Bill? Now, they ain't supposed to have security. Now, he told her not to go anywhere, to stay in that doggone room. She not only been all over the doggone house chilling, reading books and magazines like the other time she was there, she snuck out. She done left already. I said, what good? Look, somebody call the cops at this point. She ain't gonna learn until she learn. She ain't gonna learn until she learn. But yeah, I was like, she done snuck out already. This girl is getting away with everything. Breckenridge was just talking about Luna being alive. Luna was talking to her baby, and Poppy trying to get that old thing back. Hey, y'all, and welcome back to another review of Life with Chested for the Bold and Beautiful October 6, 2025. I said the 31st, y'all. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. What y'all think? Did y'all like the episode? Finn back, y'all. Finn back, Poppy back. Who else? They was already showing Ridge now. But yeah, Finn back, Poppy back. But let me know what y'all thought of the episode. I said Poppy must want that old thing back. I said she gotta want that old thing back, because when your daughter was alive, because they don't know yet. Well, Finn knows now. When your daughter was alive, you said you ain't want nothing to do with her and stuff like that, but you want something to do with her daddy though. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But we're gonna start with Breckenridge first. With Breckenridge, they were just talking about Luna old secret tale, what she did to Steffi, how she tried to murder her, how she shot Leon, what she did to Will, and how Steffi not gonna be coming back to peace and stuff like that. They saying, I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they say she come back this month? I think they said she was already filming and stuff, so I'm assuming she come back this month. I don't know. But yeah, they were just talking about that and how Steffi's going to react. And I think this week they supposed to be debating about whether or not they're going to tell Steffi the truth or not. And also, I think Finn, who is it? Finn, Lee, Taylor, Ridge, and Brooke. I think they all supposed to be debating about what to do about Luna. I said, call the cops. Somebody need to call the cops. She's sneaking out already. Brooke was saying to Ridge how she thinks that Bill would actually take this seriously, and he had his doubts. I said, he right. He right. So Luna over here, we gotta talk about this, then we're gonna come back to it. She over here, I'm about to sneak out. I know you said the other day that I shouldn't leave the room and all this other stuff, but I'm going to see my dad to tell him all the good news and all this other stuff. Nobody. No guard, no Bill, no Katie, nobody. Y'all know this is crazy. Y'all might as well just turn her into the doggone cops, to the police. Y'all just letting her roam around. Y'all seen what, you remember what happened to the last, you remember what happened to the last time. You remember what happened to the last person that she done came across, and y'all don't let her sneak out again. Told you Bill ain't good for nothing. What the world going on? But yeah, she done snuck out the doggone house to go see her dad. I said, okay, nobody got the brains. Nobody gonna sit up here and call the doggone police, because obviously Bill ain't good for nothing. But they ain't gonna call the police because Kate's supposed to bring, what's her name? Bridget. Bridget's supposed to come to do a DNA test. Excuse me. Bridget's supposed to come to do a DNA test this week, y'all. But yeah, she done snuck out again. But yeah, aside from that, Will was still texting Electra. She was ignoring him. She wasn't responding. They ended up showing Luna. She over here chilling once again. Once again, she got her feet kicked up. She rubbing her belly. She reading a book or a magazine. I think there was a book. I don't know. Either way it goes, she over here talking to the baby and stuff like that. I said, yeah, they better than me. She'll have to be having that baby in the doggone jail. Y'all know I'm a steady say this. Because she don't learn. When somebody like that and they a murderer, hello, if you ain't gonna get no doggone guards, turn her in. She done walked out. Did all that talk just for you to let her roam the doggone house. And then her doggone mama, Poppy, she stopped by to see Finn. Now at first I was like, is that Lee? Look, I couldn't see. I had my glass on and everything, still couldn't see. I was like, is that Lee? I said, is Lee about to tell Finn what's going on? It was Poppy. I said, now what business she got there? What the world going on? She told my son, he started off, I think she said something to him. I think he wanted to know why she was there. I don't know, y'all. I tuned out a little bit. But yeah, she stopped by to see him, and then they was talking, and she was like, we bonded for life because of our daughter and stuff. Y'all daughter? The one you ain't want to tell him about? The one you ain't want to tell him about? The one you just said you was glad was dead? The one you, when she wasn't dead, I mean, she ain't dead now, but you know, for the sake of the storyline. When she was dead, you said you was glad she was dead. When she was alive, you said you ain't want nothing to do with her. Why you in her daddy face? Why is you in? You just trying to get him back, ain't you? I said, they got to put her in somewhere. I said, you trying to get him back, ain't you? Yeah, over here in his face and stuff, started to talk about, so you miss her, you not miss her, but you feel some type of way about her death or whatever, and just trying to connect with him and stuff. And he started talking about the same thing, about how if she had told him the truth, maybe things would have turned out differently. Maybe Luna had been a better person and stuff like that. And I said, there they go. I said, here they go with the same old storyline or whatever. I thought she was gonna be there by the time Luna got there, but she was gone. And they were just talking about Steffi and the fact that he's ready for his family to come home, and he's glad that she coming home and she gonna be safe because Luna dead until she came in the doggone office. But yeah, Luna was talking to herself, saying how she wants to tell Finn the good news or whatever. And I said, And I said, now, Poppy, you didn't want to be bothered by Luna, but you in Finn face. I said, make it make sense now. Make it make sense. Will ends up stopping by to see Electra. By the end of the scene, might as well get it out the way. He was saying how he wants another chance. And at first I thought somebody was dreaming or something, because I thought they said this week that she gonna be talking to Ivy. Ain't that her name? Excuse me. She gonna be talking to Ivy, and she gonna be having doubts about being with him and stuff like that, because Luna's supposed to be pregnant. Oh, probably after they find out the DNA results. He ends up stopping by to see her, but by the end of that scene, she gave him another chance. By the end of that scene, she ended up giving him a second chance. She ended up saying how she loved him and it's always gonna be him forever. And the last thing I think is that Luna ends up stopping by to see Finn.